Hello YouTube, back once again, and tonight I finished watching the first season of Better Call Saul, I would have liked to have reviewed this show episode by episode, but I started too late to do that, so I decided, hey, I'll just wait until the season's over and review the season as a whole, right now, for those who watched my last Mount Earth reviews, when I said I'm not going to give an episode a show a rating like a value, I'm going to say that I will do that for a season as a whole. So I will give this a rating as a whole. Let me say right now, before I get into this review, I'm not going to say any major spoilers. I won't say anything major, both Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul wise, but I may allude to a few things. So just fair warning when it comes to that. But anyway, let's talk about the new show, AMC show, Better Call Saul. First things first, let me just say, full disclosure, when I heard they were making the show about like a year ago, give or take, I literally just threw my hands in the air, yelled, "Fuck you, AMC," and just like walked out the room because I thought this show would suck. I thought this was just a complete cash grab on AMC's part. Just for the fact, that Breaking Bad had just ended, the fact that Mad Men was wrapping up, the fact that we're losing their two best shows, I thought this was them just saying, "Oh God, we need another show. We need something to get viewers back." Because just for the fact they split the last season of Mad Men in two was so fucking obnoxious. Yeah. So when I heard they were making this, I just thought that this is gonna suck. It's gonna be the next Low Winter Sun for AMC. Remember that show, the show that was about that they played after every new episode of Breaking Bad for the last season, and trying to cram the show down your throat, trying to get viewers, and the show just sucked, and no one watched it, and lo and behold, it got canceled after its first season. I thought that would be this show, but let me say right now, I was wrong, and I am so happy I was wrong, because this is a great first season to a television show. And let's talk about it. First, let me say, what's the good of the show? One, the performances. The performances are great. I'll go through the main ones now. Bob Odenkirk as the main title character of Saul Goodman. Bob Odenkirk. I love Bob Odenkirk. I thought he was hilarious as Saul Goodman in Breaking Bad. Love him in anything else I see him like when he was on How I Met Your Mother. I thought he was like as the insane boss who loved his dog Tugboat. I always think he's such a fantastic, hilarious comedian. But I wasn't sure if he could carry a show though. Like I'm not sure, because in Breaking Bad he was very much when things got really serious during its last few seasons and the black comedy was definitely dwindling more and more. He definitely was the main black comedy driving force behind the rest of that. So I knew he was hilarious. I just didn't know if he could carry a show and because he would have to be dramatic. And let me just say, he does a great job. He has more than one very dramatic scene and where he has to really stretch his acting, and he shows he can do dramatic stuff actually really great. He has some really good dramatic acting chops, and he's great and all of that. He never brings down the scene in when it's trying to be serious anyway. That, and he's just as funny as ever as Saul Goodman. So great. So many great lines from him. So many just odd reactions to him. He's like, oh my God. He was free. Bob Odenkirk, wonderful lead. I loved him. Also, Jonathan Banks also returns as Mike, and Mike, you can never have enough Mike, in my opinion. That was my opinion with Breaking Bad, and same thing with this show. Jonathan Banks as Mike is still just as wonderful. Still such good acting, just such a badass in every scene when he's being a badass. Just for him beating up people that are 40 years younger than he is, and while looking completely reasonable doing it. He is just wonderful. Always great acting from him. I love Mike. Great to see him again. Also, the few other actors I want to talk. Michael McKean as Chuck Saul's brother. I thought he was really good. Definitely did dramatic parts really well, considering the fact that his main thing before this was this is Spinal Tap. Hilarious at that. Once again, didn't know if he could do dramatic. He does dramatic great. He is also really great. Also, Riha Seahorn, I hope I'm saying that right, as Kim, Saul's somewhat girlfriend. I just thought it was a very well done performance. Just very likable, did a very likable character, and And finally, just for any of the gamers watching this, there's also Michael Manato. I hope I'm saying that right. As one of as like a as like a some as like someone in a drug ring, and he was so much fun, like in his scenes, like always being really good at being intimidating. And for all the gamers, he was Voz in Far Cry 3, so it's always cool seeing that guy around. So I'm gonna say every performance, not a weak link, fantastic cast all around. So that that was great. Another thing is that's great about the show is the setup, because this is very different from Breaking Bad. Because in Breaking Bad, you never knew who Walter White was gonna become. You just saw him transform from season to season, wondering what would be his final, who would he finally be. And in this show, though, it has an interesting thing, because an interesting thing for the grounds that you know who he becomes, because this show tells the story about how the lawyer James McGill became the lawyer Saul Goodman. And yeah, you're just wondering, because like when the show starts off, like you see this guy, and he's kind of just like a down on his luck lawyer, and he's like a pretty likable, like pretty nice guy who wants to do the right thing for the most part, and he does it really well. Like, and you're just wondering, how does he become Saul Goodman? What happens to him that makes him hit that point? So it's a very interesting new way of looking at to breaking away from the whole Breaking Bad thing. Another thing, great black comedy in the show. It's freaking hilarious. So many great scenes. I can't even name them. Probably the best scene is when he's in a somewhat of a court case trying to defend his life from someone major from Breaking Bad. Won't say who, but I thought that scene just made me burst out laughing, even though there was like, just the most horrible of things. So that was hilarious. That I'll also say, it's never held back by its Breaking Bad constraints. You won't be watching this and be like, oh my god, why aren't I just watching Breaking Bad instead? No, this is very much its own show. But I will say, anytime there is a Breaking Bad, they do reference Breaking Bad in the show, and anytime it is, it's done well. It's not like you're never like, I get it, show. It's a Breaking Bad reference. Ha ha ha, you're so clever. No, anytime there's a Breaking Bad reference or something that like pulls some from Breaking Bad, you're just like, yeah, that's cool one. Like one of my faves, like there's a moment when Odenkirk's like buying a suit, and like when he's buying like a really nice, like he's buying like a blue suit with shirt, and then he just looks to the side and he just like laughs as he picks up like an orange shirt and then just puts it back down. I thought that was a great little touch to the characters, to the fact he becomes Saul Goodman. Certain character from Breaking Bad makes an appearance in the second episode. Won't say who, but my god, was it freaking awesome to see that character. That just blew my mind, and he definitely one of the highlights of the first season. So yeah, also just for the script itself is very well written. The plot twist, like, you will keep watching this season just saying I want random points. Oh, so this is how he becomes Saul Goodman. The moment here, like, or someone like doing something like this, that's probably I was going to be Saul Goodman. No, there's a lot of interesting twists for why you understand just, well, at the moment where he is at the moment, how he starts becoming Saul Goodman, and it's never what you think. Like, there's really good plot twists, like I did not see coming, that really hits hard. So maybe it was just me, but all the twists, like all the major twists, I did not understand, especially once the second to last episode. I really didn't see that one coming. Also, the character relationship. This show is really interesting because the character relationships is he's supposed to have a past history with most of these characters, and it's not like Breaking Bad when like you saw Walter White and like the only characters he really has, the main characters he really has a past history with is his family. So you're like, oh, just his family. Like you see him like build a relationship from scratch with Jesse. No, like every single character in the show, except for Mike, he has like a past history with, and you're wondering, so it makes it interesting. You're just wondering, well, like, okay, so what were these people's relationship? Like, I want to know. I want to go deeper into this. Like, so yeah, that's all great done. Also, like I said, great cinematography. Still, you can definitely tell it's from the same people who did Breaking Bad because the cinematography is still A+ wonderful. And also, this also has a really interesting thing. This is gonna be my only spoiler. the opening of the first episode I really loved. It showed Saul Goodman like after he like ran away at the end of Breaking Bad, like working at the Cinnabon he talked about the during his last appearance on the show, and then it's shot in black and white. It's done in silence. You can still see he's very paranoid that people will be coming for him, like some like to kill him, and yeah, and because this show though, because here's the thing, unlike most of the characters from Breaking Bad, you don't know what his ultimate fate is. Like, you know he's there, but you still don't have an ultimate fate for this character. So you're just wondering, well, so I really hope going further in the show, like next season or so, like there'll be more scenes from like him, like where like in the current day, because it would be nice if you got like a complete like just closed door on what happens to Saul Goodman. So yes, but I will yeah, so that was great. But I gotta talk about the bad now because this was not I would not say this was perfect. One, some of the plot points, some of them just felt like some of the plot points. They just kind of felt like they just came and went. Like with Breaking Bad, it felt like every single episode led to the next episode. This show kind of felt like it would just like there was some plot lines that just kind of felt like it was there just to like give you a misstep for how he becomes Saul Goodman, and then they just kind of go away, and you're just like, oh, okay, that happened. Yeah, that was a strange plot line. I wish there was a bit more connectivity for every episode, and I know some people may not agree with me. I thought the finale was somewhat disappointing because like there's this huge middle chunk in the finale. I was like, why is that there? I kind of just want to see it going, like, being more like, oh, I can see why he's becoming Saul Goodman. Yeah, I will say though, the last scene of the last, of the last episode I will say it was a very well done scene, but you can really start to see him become Saul Goodman. So, that was great. And because after all, at the moment, he's still just James McGill. And, some quick side notes. I will say right now, if you're just hoping this will just be like Breaking Bad, don't walk into the show thinking that. And I will say that's a good thing. I'm glad that this show does not try to have to be held back by its Breaking Bad roots, because this is much different. Because I always said like. Some people said Breaking Bad was a black comedy mainly. No, I always said Breaking Bad was first a drama, then it was a black comedy. This show is very much first a black comedy, and then it's a drama. So go in knowing that, and I will say that probably the best two episodes is one being 50 or 50, I'm not sure you're supposed to say, and I just thought it was an amazing performance by Jonathan Banks. Definitely hit Breaking Bad levels of dramatic dramatic acting and just like stuff that goes on. Definitely felt like you're watching an A+ Breaking Bad episode. That and the episode Pimento, the second to last episode, also an A+ episode. Dramatic elements once again hit Breaking Bad standards. This is all I can say though, all I can say, this was an amazing first season, and for a final rating, I'm gonna give this first season a solid 4.5 out of 5. This was, for a show I thought was going to be canceled after its first season, this was an amazing first season. I love this show. I'm so excited to see more of it in a year. Now I'm actually kind of sad I don't have any more Monday night television anymore. God darn it. But anyway, besides that, I can say great first season. Love it. If you're a Breaking Bad fan, go watch it. You'll love it. Don't feel like you're going to be disappointed by it, because you won't be. This is great. YouTube, as always, please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.